the California Emerging Technology Fund, in partnership with Valley Vision, Revivin, community refurbishers and business leaders, officially launched the California Green Technology Initiative at West Sacramento City Hall on June 2025. The statewide initiative is a major step toward closing California's digital divide while reducing electronic waste by keeping retired computing devices in-state so they can be refurbished and distributed to those in need.
Particularly thank the City of West Sacramento for hosting us. Thank you, Mayor Guerrero and Doug. And I'd like to thank the California Emerging Technology Fund for its leadership in launching this effort. I'd like to also thank all the partners who are here today to celebrate progress in achieving California Broadband for All, including our state leaders and elected official representatives, business and Chamber of Commerce leaders, and the community-based organizations, education, and nonprofits working on the front line to ensure digital equity. And it's wonderful to see you all here in the audience. Broadband infrastructure and digital equity are integral part of Valley Vision's mission to improve quality of life in the capital region by advancing prosperity, equity, and sustainability. And broadband is truly one of those issues that touches all aspects of our community and certainly all parts of Valley Vision's mission. So as Valley Vision, we're here wearing a few different hats today. First of all, we're here as the convener for We Prosper Together. This is the state's California Jobs First initiative in our regional economic strategy. This initiative will help us achieve our goals for sustainable prosperity, and broadband's a really important part of that vision. We're also here as the manager of the region's Connected Capital Area Broadband Consortium. We're funded by the California Public Utilities Commission to bridge the digital divide by ensuring that all our communities have the connectivity that they need to thrive. We're also here as the manager of the region's Capital Region Coalition for Digital Inclusion. Our mission in this work is to work with community partners, many of whom are here today, to ensure that community members have equitable access to devices, digital literacy and training, and affordable internet so they can fully participate in today's complex and changing world. We're also here as a partner to the City of West Sacramento. We prepared the city's just completed broadband action plan, and we're collaborating with them as a participant in CETF's Local Government Best Practices Learning Network. West Sacramento is one of 35 jurisdictions across the state who are participating in this community of practice, which will help the city accelerate innovative approaches to infrastructure and deployment and digital equity. I'd also like to acknowledge that the city had one of the highest rates of enrollment regionally and across the state for Federal Affordable Connectivity Program, or the ACP. The city also models this initiative by donating its own devices to our local nonprofit partner, Computers for Kids, for refurbishing and skill training services across the region. Really great job by West Sacramento. Finally, we are here today because of our long partnership with CETF. I want to particularly thank Sunny for your trust and investment in Valley Vision and in our region over the years on so many different initiatives. Here you are. This includes an early focus on broadband as a green strategy, the first elementary school school-to-home project in the state, the securing of the Connecting Minority Communities grant for students and digital navigators through CSU Sacramento, and the Local Government Best Practices Learning Network. Valley Vision Managing Director Trish Kelly, who leads Valley Vision's broadband and digital equity projects, is going to help with introductions throughout the program. But right now, I'm very honored and pleased to introduce CETF's visionary leader, Sunny McPeak, to talk about why CETF launched this initiative and the role we can all play in this call to action.
Thank you. Thank you, CEO Evan Schmidt. What a great organization Valley Vision has been. And Valley Vision is actually sort of the gold standard of civic organizations that focus on regional prosperity, on the regional environmental quality, on regional equity throughout California. While Evan was really kind to the California Emerging Technology Fund, really, I just have been following them and everything Trish Kelly told me to do. And so the California Emerging Technology Fund is a statewide nonprofit that the California Public Utilities Commission directed to be established. This was the vision of the commission back in 2005, that there should be a not-for-profit that would be a partner to the state, that would be sort of an intermediary with all of the stakeholders. And that's what we do. We do what we were told to do. Now we are here and getting to be a part of this announcement of the California Green Technology Initiative because that was a directive from Governor Newsom in the Broadband for All executive order that was issued on August 14th, 2020, in the middle of the pandemic and the public health emergency. Governor Newsom had actually announced the idea in November of 2019 at the California Economic Summit in Fresno. And literally in November, none of us could envision what would happen just a few months later. And so Governor Newsom took up the whole challenge of continuing leadership on closing the digital divide in California. When you listen to Evan go through all of the reasons that Valley Vision is here, what came to mind is how clearly she was discussing that being connected to the internet and having the tools to navigate the internet is simply connective tissue. It's what keeps us in communications. It's what's common to all the other initiatives. And technology is really only a tool. What gives it power is when people know how to use it. And in order to be able to be connected to the internet, you still generally need a device. And so Governor Newsom directed that there should be a whole action plan that would implement his executive order. And that's when we were very fortunate that Amy Tong was director of the California Department of Technology. And at that point, Amy had been chairing the California Broadband Council. The California Emerging Technology Fund is one of the permanent members by state statute on the California Broadband Council, along with the California Public Utilities Commission and other state agencies. And Amy had been already focusing us on task. Well, then Governor Newsom, I'm sure with a lot of encouragement from Director Tong and support, issued this executive order, and I said August 14th, and said go do an action plan, and that action plan was turned in 4 months later at the end of December of 2020. And so it was under Amy's leadership that we're now doing this launch of the Green Technology Initiative, because that plan says everybody should have affordable devices. You'll hear more about that, but ladies and gentlemen, I am so delighted that when Amy decided that, well, she was secretary, she was director of the department. She had plans to actually spend more time with family. And then she got the call from the governor's office, no, I want you to become secretary of the Government Operations Agency. We had a little call, and I said, actually, you can't turn him down. And so Amy was then secretary of GovOps, and now she is the senior counselor to Governor Newsom in the governor's office. We are delighted that she is here to represent Governor Gavin Newsom today. Please help me welcome the Honorable Amy Tong.
Well, anybody knows Sunny knows that she's a very hard act to follow after she gives speeches like that. And thank you so much, Sunny, for the very, very kind introduction. And it's my pleasure to be here. And as you can see that we have a quote from the two governors, even though I am now with the in the Governor Newsom's administration, I did have the pleasure to also serve in Governor Schwarzenegger's administration. That's when we all heard of Sunny McPeak being the Secretary then of the Business Consumers Agency. Just a few words of, again, congratulatory, and then how excited that we are seeing the launch of this green initiative. As Sunny mentioned, that not only this was back in 2019 when Governor first talked about the concept of the need of having the broadband for all services for all California. if further, totally not planned, we know this, exemplified the urgency of it during the pandemic years of 2020, 2021, probably even to 2022. And at that time, as Sunny mentioned, not only CETF, of course, Trish, with the organization and many of the members that are representing the entire state of California, from local to community-based organization, people were coming up more and more, the examples, the stories, especially those students that we saw that are having a disadvantage because of the lack of access to broadband, that when we had to implement what we call distant learning for a while in response to the pandemic. That said, those becomes a motivator. Those becomes a further challenge that we all have to go beyond what we believe our capacities were. And Sunny is right, when the executive order was issued for Broadband for All in August of 2020, in the middle of pandemic response, who would have known that in a matter of 4 months, we had to come out with the entire action plan? That is speed, right, in government. And that is not because we are taking this lightly. That is very much, it's a daily reminder that even though the conversation of bridging this digital divide has been going for a while, it takes this level of urgency to push the implementation. So today, merely with 2025, with so many action has taken place. Since the launch of the Broadband Action Plan, with the support of the legislature, there's the entire state of California middle mile broadband infrastructure being in the process of being built. And 8,000 miles being the largest in the nation, and working in conjunction with CPUC, building the last mile, which many of the local entity here, it's an integral part of that last mile infrastructure to be completed. But you could have a middle mile infrastructure for the state of California. You could have a last mile to the local jurisdiction to bring those connectivity to household. Most important is devices, digital literacy, training, so actually our residents know how to leverage these resources that they may not have in the past. And in the world of a digital era, and especially knowing that so many services these days are expected to be delivered digitally, we in the state of California felt that level of responsibility to make sure that we're doing everything that we could, not only from a statewide infrastructure aspect, but to the very, very end delivery of to the user's hand, to our residents' hands, devices, and training to enable them to take full advantage of these digital services. So that's why here, representing the administration, can congratulate you all for this launch of the Green Initiatives, because it's without leadership like you, without the championship like you, we would have a much harder time in closing or bridging the digital divide in California. So with the great gratitude and lots of energy surrounding this, we're so pleased this is happening in California and it's taking place in our own backyard, West Sacramento. Thank you all.
We're so lucky to have Amy and all the leaders who are here today and all of you as partners. Good morning, I'm Trish Kelly, Managing Director at Valley Vision, and it's my pleasure now to introduce Maria Ellis, who's the Director of Broadband Initiatives at the CPUC, and Maria oversees the programs that are really important resources for our community, and we thank you for your partnership and support, Maria. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I am here as a stand-in for Commissioner Darcy Houck, who is a commissioner, our appointed commissioner, lead commissioner for Broadband for All at the CPUC. She unfortunately had a last-minute emergency and was not able to make it, so I'm here to deliver her remarks. So I'm going to go ahead through these, and then I want to share one thought as well. So thank you to the California Emerging Technology Fund and Sunny and Revin for your work in support of the Green Technology Initiative. Governor Gavin Newsom issued Executive Order N7320 in August 2020 directing the preparation of the Broadband for All Action Plan. The plan was adopted in 2020, and as you've heard, came right behind a really. It was in 2019, but this was like a very timely time to have this plan adopted in a time when we've all needed it. Goal 2 of the plan states that Californians have access to affordable broadband and necessary devices. As stated by others, affordability of broadband services and the devices needed to use them are a major barrier for many communities, particularly low-income communities where these devices could be cost prohibitive. The Green Technology Initiative offers an opportunity to both further responsible environmental stewardship that are one of the pillars that we want to have at CPUC and take steps to eliminate the digital divide. The Commissioner, as a member of the Broadband Council, applauds this effort to further the state's efforts to meet this goal for Broadband for All, and specifically Goal 2. She looks forward to continuing the work with communities and community-based organizations, service providers, and sister agencies like CDT in accomplishing the Broadband for All goals. And then from my end, I wanted to share, on Friday, I was at an event for a celebration for an event that we had for one of our programs under the California Line Extension Program under the California Advanced Services Fund banner. This program helped to extend line to meet the needs to get to a community of farm worker houses, migrant workers in the Hollister area. And it was amazing because this community went from being completely disconnected to having fiber networks that are going to be providing them gigabit speeds in their home. And this is amazing and wonderful. And one of the things I was thinking about while I was there is, and now there's this other side, which is now they have access to internet, and it is going to be very affordable because they partnered with community organizations to make it happen. So it's going to be free. But also, how do you access the internet if you don't have a device, which is also a cost prohibitive thing? So while I'm a stand-in here, this was a really great time for me thinking about that event, and I was reflecting at that time, how are we going to get these folks some devices to be able to use? And I hope that as we're thinking about how to move forward through this initiative, we're thinking about those types of communities which are really working hard for Californians. They are putting food on our table every day, and hopefully this is one of the priorities that we can put forth in this initiative.
Thank you so much, Maria. And she's just outlined one of the core constituencies and communities that we hope to really benefit. We have a partner here from Center for Land-Based Learning that works with our farm worker families and trains that next generation of farmers. So great opportunities abound throughout our community and state. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Mayor Martha Guerrero from the city of West Sacramento. She is a local, regional, and national broadband leader and the catalyst for the work here in the city. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our West Sacramento City Hall. I'm Mayor Martha Guerrero of West Sacramento, and we're really happy to be hosting the launch of this important statewide initiative to help close the digital divide and reduce e-waste. We're greatly appreciative of all of our champions that have brought us here to this great celebration today. We have a great partnership with the California Emerging Technology Fund, including through participating in local government best practices learning network, which is providing a grant that we are using to provide hotspots to our library over there, which is close to our Little City College. We're grateful to SUNY and the CSTF's team for launching this initiative, which helps us at the local level to achieve the goals of Broadband for All. We're proud to have the leaders from the Governor's Office and the CPUC here today, along with the many key partners at the state and local levels, including our local businesses and community-based organizations. West Sacramento is deeply committed to making sure that all residents, businesses, and community partners have strong access to broadband infrastructure so that we have connectivity throughout the city, and also to ensuring that everyone has access to the devices, training, and affordable programs they need. It is also a high priority for me personally, which you've heard Trish mentioned. We are just completing the update of the city's broadband action plan, prepared with Valley Vision, so grateful for this team effort, so that we can be innovative and ready for investment, showing our dedication to digital equity. The city has one of the highest rates of enrollment regionally and across the state for the federal Affordable Connectivity Program, as we support our partners, including nonprofits, the library, and the school district, to bridge the digital divide. We are happy to see our local nonprofits, including Computer for Kids, raise your hand, and Yolo County Children's Alliance, yes, thank you, play such an important role in this initiative. We have donated the city's devices to Computer for Kids for refurbishing and distribution to our community, especially school families, who we know it is a great model for the business community across the state to adopt. So together, we can achieve the goal of broadband for all and digital equity for all. Thank you for allowing me to be up here with you today. Thank you, Trish.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And now it's also my pleasure to introduce Erin Jones, District Representative, Field Representative for Congresswoman Doris Matsui, who's a phenomenal leader in this space. She's just a wealth of incredible knowledge. And Erin is on the front line with us every day, helping us help our communities to bridge the digital divide. So I'd like to welcome Erin.
Thank you, Trish. Again, my name is Erin Jones, a field representative with Congresswoman Doris Matsui's office. The Congresswoman wishes she could be here today, but she had to take a flight back to DC to keep fighting the good fight to ensure that we are protecting the important gains that we have made to close the digital divide nationally. Throughout her years in Congress, Congresswoman Matsui has had a key priority in closing the digital divide. Everyone here knows that in order to gain access to important resources like healthcare, workforce development, being able to access the everyday amenities that we need to thrive in the 21st century, having access to affordable broadband and having a device that can get you onto the internet is critical. It is events like these here today that inspire the Congresswoman and her entire team to keep fighting the good fight, because what we see here is what makes the Sacramento region so special. It is the collaboration between government and private entities, from nonprofits from across the region at every level of local government, that ensures that the good work that all of us are doing here today and the important successes that we've made over the last several years can continue to happen. And so to Sunny McPeak and to CETF, Valley Vision, and all the nonprofits here today, we thank you for your critical efforts, and we look forward to the important and critical digital equity gains that the Green Technology Initiative will provide. Thank you for your hard work, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you so much. Are we all fired up and ready to go? Yes. Okay. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Ravjit Jandu, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly, the IT manager from Dobie. He's going to talk about how they partner with CETF and communities to get devices for families. So thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Sorry, guys, I've got two immunocompromised family members at home, so I'm always masked. But I was talking to them yesterday. I'm like, I'm going to go talk to a bunch of people I don't know, and they're like, you'll be all right. And they said, all three of them, I've got two sons and my wife, they said, they get nervous when they know the audience. And I'm like, I get nervous when I don't know the audience. So I want to see some hands. How many people get nervous when you don't know the audience? You guys, some of you guys are professional talkers, so you guys don't get to answer. How about when you do know the audience? You get more nervous? All right, a few here and there, okay. But I was surprised when I was researching this that 30% of Californians still don't have a computer. 30%, or a mobile phone. That's crazy to think in today's environment, right? And so I bet you we've got a couple of computers at home. I've got like, working for Adobe, I've got a lot. But what if we could use some of those old computers and get people online, right? They could do homework, they could fill out applications, get directions. This was how I got here this morning. I didn't have to think about it. Communicate to loved ones, right? And that's still hard for me to think that more than 1 out of 4 people in California don't have a mobile phone or a computer. That just blew my mind over the weekend, right? At Adobe, we believe sustainability isn't just about reducing waste, but it's about creative opportunities. So my name is Ravjit Jandu. I've been with Adobe for over 23 years. I'm blessed, and I'm excited to share with you guys a program we've got for donating our old hardware. Adobe's vision is to empower everybody everywhere to imagine, create, and bring digital experiences to life, right? And creativity often isn't just about making something new, but solving an old problem. And in 2022, we partnered with CETF as well as Reviven to manage and repurpose our old technology, our retired technology. And so we just didn't want another recycling program. We wanted to align our values to make some real change to our communities as well as our environment, right? From this partnership with Reviven, we've collected over $92,000 and donated over 425 computers to families, low-income families around California. And so when I think of that, it helps me sleep at night with that 30% number in my head. Like, we can do this. We can really, really do this. So I just want to say thank you to CETF. I want to say thank you to Reviven. And through programs like this, we can do it. We can do it. So thank you for having me. Thank you.
You can tell your family you're very comfortable in front of the audience. Well, that's just like when you go on a stage and then you give a great performance. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Nicholas Lanza, who's the Director of Account Management for Reviven, and he's going to talk about the program that they've developed with CETF to help us get all connected. Thank you, Nicholas.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nick Lanza. It's a pleasure to be here today. Prior to joining Reviven, I worked in education for almost a decade. And when I was looking to move out of education, I wanted to make sure that I was at a business that had a strong mission and was going to have strong impact, specifically to help people, technology, and working with and seeing so many of the organizations here that I know our computers are going to young people throughout the state of California. I think I made the right choice. I want to start by just thanking Sunny and the group at CETF, as well as Governor Newsom, Amy Tong, Mayor Guerrero, Senator Cabaldon, the California Chamber of Commerce, Adobe, and all the community leaders in this room that are helping to close the digital divide in the state of California. Raji, I think you said it really well, and I'm so happy that you see it so clearly. Electronic waste is the fastest growing waste stream in the world. And when I think about all of the different companies that Reviven partners with, oftentimes employees in their homes will have a couple of spare devices that are left over and they're using the newest model. Those devices still have plenty of life left in them. They could carry a student who might be going to college for the first time through their entire college career. And we see that every day. So we're super honored and privileged to be working with companies like Adobe who see that and see that they can really make an impact while making sure that their needs at their business are also taken care of. Sorry. So the CETF Revivin partnership makes it remarkably easy for companies like Adobe to turn retired technology into meaningful impact. Revivin manages everything from the secure global collections to software reporting and professional refurbishment. So we try to make it as easy as possible for our partners to be contributing. The funds generated from all of this repurposed hardware creates a revenue stream that CETF reinvests to provide computers for households and that are completing digital literacy training. This is a really powerful self-sustaining cycle that promotes digital inclusion, workforce development, and environmental responsibility. It's a simple but high impact way for employers across California to make a lasting difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. So today, this is our call to action. We all have our great business community. I want to thank the Chambers of Commerce who are here today, our partners from Sacramento Chamber, the local chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, and the other chambers who we work with. We're partners with you to help in this mission. I know connectivity and support for your business community is a big opportunity, or it's a big priority for you, and we want to help you reach and connect and elevate our workforce too in our community. So we also want to thank our CBOs. We've mentioned Computers for Kids, Yolo County Children's Alliance. We've got Sac State here with the network of partners, Center for Land-Based Learning. I know I may miss some others, but also I want to thank Delia from Comcast, been a fabulous partner here, and just all the people that are here as we launch this initiative. Kevin Flash, thank you in particular for all your help. And CETF is continuing to advance applications with federal and state partners so we can continue this mission together. I also want to thank Clay Nutting, our board chair, who is with Franket, a local business, and all the beautiful refreshments. Yay, so please go over and make sure that you have something as we network. And I want to thank the mayor again and Doug for their support and partnership in this beautiful space. And I'd like to turn it over maybe to Beth for Q&A. I want to thank the Miller Group also and CETF staff, and Navreet from Valley Vision, and Adrian, and of course, Evan. So thank you, everyone. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Okay, we have a schedule, and now I've just interrupted it. And to add some words of thanks, and then we will go to Beth Miller. But I wanted to start with acknowledging, first of all, the work that the Miller Public Affairs Group has done to organize all this. So Beth Miller, Julia, Brendan, give them a round of applause. They stepped in very quickly when we got a pretty good inkling that the federal government was going to terminate a grant of $12 million to a group of 52 partners we had. Included the Yolo County Children's Services, Computers for Kids. It included Valley Vision, about as wide and comprehensive a coalition that the California Emerging Technology Fund has ever been asked to manage. And so we immediately said, we can't wait on this green technology initiative, which is really the concept of so many others who came before CETF. We have a network of regional refurbishers, nonprofit organizations that actually take donated devices, refurbish them, train a workforce in that refurbishing, and then make them available at an affordable price. That includes Computers for Kids right here in the larger Sacramento region. It includes computers for classrooms in the Sacramento region. In the Bay Area, and they keep expanding, it's Tech Exchange. In the Los Angeles region, it's Human IT. In San Diego, it's San Diego Futures Foundation. There are others, but those are the ones who operate at scale, have grown, are nonprofit. And then we have, as you heard from Nick Lanza, this wonderful partnership with a public benefit corporation called Revivin that can provide to very large organizations absolute professional first-class service, just like the regional refurbishers, picking up the devices, refurbishing them, putting them back out for sale. All of that generates a revenue stream through now the California Emerging Technology Fund, and we take no fee. We manage every dollar that comes in is a dollar that goes back out to buy a device, either from a refurbisher, or in the case of Chromebooks, if it's with a school, we actually can buy new ones about at the same price. And then you'll have companies such as Comcast, thank you, who will also donate and provide other devices. Why is this important? You heard Amy Tong, you heard Maria Ellis talk about once we get the infrastructure, high-speed internet out there, just like the city of West Sacramento is doing, right, Mayor? You then have to get people connected. And until we get a chip in our finger that we just put in the air or in the socket, we actually need a device, right? And so then if you get the device, you still have to learn how to use it. The California Public Utilities Commission provides a lot of funding for digital training and actually devices. But if we can stretch our California Advanced Services Fund dollars and have other sources of devices and at a very economical price, it becomes this wonderful, if you will, system that Nick Lanza talked about. Deanna was saying as you were talking, what's happening to our devices, right? Which is exactly the question that I hope this launch has every organization talking about. And I will bet you most people don't know, most employees of organizations do not know what happens when the devices they've been issued by their employer are retired. Because actually what's going on mostly is that the vendor who sold them picks them up. Now what happens? They end up either being dismantled or sent offshore. So the whole concept behind this green technology initiative is keep as many devices that we buy in California, and they are a lot, millions every year. In fact, generates $57 million in the e-waste recycling fee that goes to Cal Recycle, and they are going to be helping us trying to figure out what's really going on in California so that those retired devices can end up being refurbished and in the hands of families completing digital literacy training. That's what is the most exciting incentive when we do digital literacy training, that at the end, a family gets a device. I was in East Oakland on Thursday evening. We were doing a community forum, and two families got out of a drawing a device. It was sort of, come to the forum, come and be there. They had to sit through an hour and a half of, speeches. And then when their name was drawn, you could not believe how happy that mom was, who had come with a young son who was in school, and he doesn't have a computer at home to do his homework. He barely has one at school, by the way. So, as you said, Rojit, you've got a lot of devices sitting around in your home, and you are the tech expert, right? Many of us have the same thing. They can be donated to Computers for Kids. Kevin is here. Kevin Flash is here as part of a partner with Valley Vision. we can get our employers to do the same thing. That is part of this, if you will, perfect system. It is called green because it reduces the impact on the environment, and it keeps those devices in California going to a good purpose. So I just want to explain how you have all these choices. You can donate to a regional refurbisher. Reviven will come pick it up. And if you are a financial institution, we have established at the California Emerging Technology Fund a dedicated fund for which banks and savings and loans and credit unions can get Community Reinvestment Act credit, CRA credit, that they have to show to their bank regulators. So we have several choices. No organization should be just letting their devices that they retire go somewhere that they don't know where they're going to end up. So you can actually call a number that we now have established statewide, Beth will probably talk about it, to be able to get your devices donated. Let's keep them all in California. That is what Governor Newsom says. That's what Governor Schwarzenegger says. That's a pretty powerful message that we have from our two immediate chief executives. And then United Way, Edward, you're here. I know that Trish was going to include you in all of that, and I want to personally thank not only Evan Schmidt as the CEO. I said Trish Kelly has really taught me everything about what we do in community development. And then Navreet, thank you very much, and Adrian for being here, the team from Valley Vision. I think, Beth, if I've missed thanking anybody, would you please fill in? My team, I should acknowledge. So I've got our Director of Policy and Communications, Kyle O'Ryan. I've got our Director of the Call Center, Patty Bibby, who actually takes thousands of calls every day, 100,000 calls a year, and that's where the call will go to if you want to donate devices, and then we immediately turn around and help an employer. And I have Sam Swimley here too, who is helping us. There she is, our coordinator of digital navigators, because we train the digital navigators. I think the only person I have not yet thanked is my husband who drove me here today, and I'm very grateful to John. So, okay, it's sort of all in the family. I thank you. Everybody who's been here, every one of you has a role to play in this green technology initiative and to fulfill the vision of broadband for all. So thank you. I want to turn this over to the CEO, founder of Miller Public Affairs, Beth Miller.
Amy Tong is right. You don't want to follow Sunny Wright McPeak. I'm just here to if anyone has any questions for any of our speakers, if the media has any questions or needs an interview arranged with any of the folks here, let me know. And then, Brendan, can you? Oh, okay. It's ironic that at a technology event, we're having technology issues. But if you had taken a picture of the QR code, which we'll put back up, the last slide on this deck, one more. There is a phone number to call. Yeah. And again, encourage, it's a win-win for business and the environment. I know I've been speaking with companies the last couple of months, and they said, why wouldn't I do that? So that's what we want. We want companies to say, heck yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you do it? So thank you all for being here. Thank all the speakers. We adjourn.